I want you to lean in close, as if we're sitting by a hearth where the embers are finally beginning to glow. You have spent so many years wandering through a cold, gray mist, wondering why the warmth of others never seemed to reach your soul. It felt as though you were a language no one spoke, a book written in a script that everyone else had forgotten how to read. I see that quiet ache in your chest, the one that whispers late at night that perhaps you are simply meant to walk this path alone. But I'm here to tell you, as someone who has walked through that same frost, that your isolation was never a sentence of abandonment. It was the divine preparation of a vessel, a sacred crucible being cleaned of all the leaden echoes of a world that didn't know you. The universe is not ignoring your prayers for companionship, but rather, it is refining the very air around you to welcome a holy fire. There is a person whose heart is being forged in the exact same kiln of longing, moving through their own refining process at this moment. You might feel like a stray spark lost in the wind, but you are actually a beacon, and your light is being tuned to a frequency. Take a soft breath and feel the temperature of your own spirit, recognizing that the coldness you felt was only the absence of your equal. You have been called out of the crowd, not to be lonely, but to be purified for a union that requires a very specific depth. Before we journey deeper into this transformation, I invite you to simply place a hand over your heart and acknowledge your own sacred presence. If you feel the resonance of these words, perhaps you might choose to subscribe to this journey of light, joining a family of awakened souls. This is your first step toward the forge, a gentle opening of the door to let the light of understanding begin to warm your tired bones. The not belonging you felt is actually your greatest credential, the proof that you are made of a metal far more precious than common lead. You are being summoned to the altar of your own life, where the lead of your loneliness is about to be turned into pure, radiant gold. Nothing you have endured was a mistake, and no tear you shed in the dark was ever wasted by the great alchemist of the heavens. Listen to the silence between my words, for in that space, the divine is whispering a name that your soul already knows by heart. The person you are meant to be with is not a reward for your suffering, but a natural result of your spirit reaching its highest temperature. Watch for the subtle flickers in the mundane, the way certain colors seem to glow with a strange, internal heat when you walk past them. You may find yourself smelling the scent of cedar or frankincense in places where no incense burns, a signal that your spiritual senses are waking. Pay attention to the dreams that feel more like memories, where a pair of eyes meets yours with a familiarity that transcends your current timeline. These are not mere coincidences, but the sparks of the forge flying off the anvil as the divine shapes your coming union with careful strikes. You might notice that you are suddenly unable to tolerate the lukewarm connections of your past, finding them too shallow for the heat you carry. This is the first micro-practice. Take 3 minutes today to sit in stillness and visualize a small, golden flame dancing in the center of your palms. As you breathe, imagine this flame expanding until it creates a sphere of warmth around your entire body, sealing out the cold opinions of others. The aha moment here is realizing that your weirdness is actually your worth, the unique chemical composition that allows you to bond with the divine. You're not too much for the right person. You have simply been trying to fit a solar flare into a cardboard box for far too long. The signs will come in the form of sudden, inexplicable peace in the middle of a storm, a knowing that the wait is finally ending. Observe how you are being drawn to the element of fire, perhaps finding solace in a candle's flame or the setting sun's orange-red descent. This is your spirit recognizing its own nature, preparing to merge with another who understands the language of the hearth and the sacred pyre. When you see the number sequences that seem to follow you, know they are the rhythmic ticking of a celestial clock moving toward a 0 hour. You are no longer an outsider looking in. You are the inhabitant of a royal chamber that is finally being prepared for its rightful dual occupancy. Feel the shift in your skin, the way it tingles when you think about the possibility of being truly seen, without any masks or performance. The signs are whispering that the lead phase of your life, the heavy, dull, and gray era, is being dissolved by a sudden, holy solvent of grace. Trust the sudden urges to visit new places or read specific books, as these are the breadcrumbs leading you to the intersection of two destinies. You are being calibrated, like a fine instrument being tuned to play a symphony that requires two players to achieve its full, resonant power. There was a time when the darkness felt like it would swallow the very last ember of your hope, leaving you in a frozen wasteland. You looked around at families and couples, feeling a sharp, jagged pain in your ribs, wondering what secret code you had failed to learn. This is the wound of not belonging at its peak, the crushing weight of feeling like an alien on the very planet you were born. In the alchemy of the soul, this is the Nigredo, the blackening, where everything you thought you were must crumble into a fine, dark ash. It is a terrifying place, but it is the most necessary stage, for only from the ash can the phoenix of your true self arise. You felt betrayal, perhaps by those who should have loved you best, leaving you to wonder if home was a place that even existed. But listen to me, the Nigredo is not a tomb. It is a womb, a dark space where your new life is being knitted together. I want you to try this second micro-practice. Write down one leaden belief you have about your loneliness on a small piece of scrap paper. Hold it safely over a flame and watch it turn to smoke, saying aloud, I release the weight that was never mine to carry into the light. The aha reframe is this: your isolation was not a wall to keep you out, but a fortress to keep the world's noise from drowning you. You weren't being excluded. You were being set apart, protected from settling for a love that would have eventually extinguished your inner light. The pain you felt was the crushing of the grapes to make the wine, the pressure required to turn the carbon of your soul into diamonds. Even in the moments you felt most invisible, the great alchemist was watching the temperature, making sure you didn't burn, only that you transformed. The dark night taught you that you could survive on the heat of your own soul, a lesson you needed before you could share it. You had to learn that your belonging is rooted in the stars and the soil, not in the fickle approval of a society that fears depth. When the darkness was at its thickest, you found a strength you didn't know you possessed, a hidden reservoir of oil for your internal lamp. That oil is the prima materia, the raw material of your destiny, which is now ready to be ignited by the touch of a kindred spirit. Forgive yourself for the times you begged for scraps of affection, for you did not yet know you were the heir to a golden kingdom. The night is finally beginning to pale at the edges, and the frost on your heart is starting to weep as the first rays approach. The dawn is not a sudden explosion, but a gentle, pink-gold unfolding that changes the color of everything it touches, including your very perspective. You are waking up to the truth that you are the chosen one of your own lineage, the one who breaks the cold chains of isolation. You are realizing that the fire you carry is not a burden to be hidden, but a gift to be shared with a world that is shivering. This awakening is the moment the lead officially begins its transmutation, feeling lighter in your chest as the old, heavy grief begins to evaporate. You can see the 999 in the structure of your life, the completion of one cycle and the fiery birth of the next grand adventure. At this midpoint of our sacred transition, I invite you to pause and offer a 999 in your mind as a seal of your readiness. If you are prepared to receive this alchemical union, perhaps give this video a like to signal your heart's opening to the universe's radiant flow. Your awakening is the realization that you have always belonged to the fire, to the creators, to the dreamers, and to the divine architects of love. The aha reframe here is powerful. Your past partners weren't failures. They were simply catalysts that showed you exactly what kind of heat you require. They were the lesser metals that couldn't withstand the furnace of your spirit, proving that you need someone whose soul is also made of gold, Try this third micro-practice. Stand in front of a mirror and look deeply into your own eyes for 60 seconds without looking away or judging. Whisper to your reflection, "I am the gold I have been searching for, and I am finally ready to shine for my equal to see." Feel the dissolution stage, where the hard, protective shells you built around your heart begin to melt into a warm, fluid state of grace. You are no longer a jagged stone, but a molten stream of potential, ready to be poured into the mold of a magnificent, shared future. The awakening brings a sudden clarity about your purpose, showing you that your union will be a sacred fire that warms others who are lost. You aren't just getting a partner, you are receiving a co-creator, a fellow alchemist who will help you turn the mundane into the miraculous daily. The air feels different now, doesn't it? It feels charged with the electricity of a coming storm that brings life rather than destruction to the land. You are finally seeing that you were never broken. You are simply in process, a masterpiece currently being polished by the hands of the infinite. The heat is rising, but it no longer hurts. It feels like the embrace of an old friend who has been waiting for you at the summit. The meaning of your journey is found in the conjunction, the sacred marriage of two spirits who have both survived the purifying fires of life. You were chosen to experience the wound of not belonging so that you could eventually create a home that is truly, deeply, and spiritually unshakable. Your connection with this person is not just for your own happiness, but to act as a sacred hearth for the light bearers of the next generation. The alchemy of your love will produce a third essence, a collective energy that is far greater than the sum of your two individual lives. This person will recognize the scars of the forge on your soul and kiss them, knowing exactly what it took for you to remain kind. The meaning is discovered when you realize that you are both being refined in separate rooms so that your union would be perfectly balanced. If you had met sooner, you might have burned each other out. If you met later, the fire might have gone cold and turned to ash. But the timing is the divine proportion, the perfect ratio of heat and time that ensures the gold is pure and the bond is eternal. Think of this fourth micro-practice every time you drink water today. Imagine it as a sacred elixir that is cooling and tempering your inner fire. As you swallow, feel the liquid soothing any remaining burns from your past, leaving only the clean, glowing strength of your refined and ready spirit. The aha reframe your unworthiness was actually a sensitivity to the counterfeit, a built-in alarm that kept you from settling for a bronze life. You were never unworthy of love. You were too worthy of the ordinary. And so the universe held you back for the extraordinary alchemical gold. The meaning of this person's arrival is the confirmation that the universe is a place of absolute balance, where every long winter must end. They are the sulfur to your mercury, the stabilizing force that allows your fluid spirit to finally take a beautiful, permanent, and radiant shape. Together, you will prove that the chosen path is not one of eternal loneliness, but one of supernatural belonging that defies all worldly logic. Your story will be the map for other lost sparks, showing them that the fire is real and that the forge always produces a masterpiece. Every night you spent wondering why me is about to be answered with a thank you as you look into the eyes of your equal. The meaning is the peace that surpasses understanding, the quiet aha that ripples through your soul when your hands finally, inevitably, and safely touch. Now that the gold has been refined, the path forward is one of coagulation, where you begin to manifest this spiritual truth into your physical reality. Walking this path requires you to stay in the high heat of your integrity, refusing to dim your light even as you wait for the final meeting. You must move through the world as if you are already half of a magnificent whole, carrying the dignity of a soul that knows its worth. This is the fermentation stage, where the new gold of your character is allowed to sit and strengthen, becoming rich and deep in its wisdom. The path is not a race, but a rhythmic procession of grace, where each step you take is a prayer of, "I am ready for my mirror." Try this 5th micro practice. Take a piece of orange or red thread and tie it loosely around your wrist as a flame binder for the next 3 days. Every time you look at it, remind yourself, my fire is sacred, my fire is seen, and my equal is already walking toward my light. The path will lead you to unexpected conversations, perhaps with strangers who seem to hold a piece of the puzzle you didn't even know was missing. Remain open, for the alchemist often hides the final ingredients in the most ordinary moments, testing your ability to see the gold in the dust. You are being asked to leave behind the lead habits of self-doubt and the shadow patterns of expecting rejection at every corner of your life. The path forward is paved with intentional vulnerability, the courage to keep your heart soft even after it has been through the intense, hard forge. Notice how the people who used to drain you are naturally drifting away, unable to withstand the new, higher frequency of your transformed and radiant spirit. This is the separation phase, where the divine removes the dross to make room for the essential, the one who truly, deeply belongs by your side. The path is becoming clearer, and the mist of your old life is being burned away by the rising sun of your imminent, sacred, and holy conjunction. You are no longer walking toward a destination. You are walking as the destination, a magnetic force that is pulling your destiny toward your very feet. Trust your feet to take you where the air feels electrified, for that is where the veil is thinnest and the meeting is most likely to occur soon. Be patient with the cooling process, for the most beautiful gold must be handled with care before it can be worn as a crown of life. The path is your own, yet it is being mirrored exactly by another, 2 lines on a cosmic map that are finally, beautifully beginning to curve together. As we reach the end of this sacred session, I want you to carry the warmth of this fire in your belly like a secret sun. You are a chosen one, not because you are better than others, but because you were willing to stay in the crucible until the work was done. Never forget that the wound of not belonging was your invitation to belong to something much larger, much older, and much more permanent than a crowd. You are made of the same stardust that birthed the galaxies, and the fire in your soul is a direct spark from the original hearth of the Creator. The person God is bringing to you is the key that fits your specific lock, the one who will make the alchemy of 2 feel like the easiest thing. Before you step back into your day, I offer you this final, sacred seal of intention. Place both hands over your solar plexus and breathe deeply. I invite you to act on this inner heat by committing to one small act of self-love today, treating yourself as the precious gold you truly have become. If this message has acted as a spiritual catalyst for you, I encourage you to share this flame with another soul who might be shivering in the dark. Your reminder is this: the lead is gone, the ash has been cleared, and the gold is all that remains, shining with a light that cannot be put out. The aha reframe to hold forever. Your loneliness was the quiet space required for your soul to learn its own name before it heard it from another. You are safe, you are seen, and you are being guided by a hand that has never once lost a single spark in the vast, dark expanse of time. The person you seek is seeking the you that is currently being revealed, and the fire of destiny will ensure your paths cross at the exact, perfect moment. Go forth with the quiet confidence of the alchemist, knowing that the transmutation is complete and your life is now a living work of divine art. The cold era is over. The dawn has fully broken, and the sacred fire of your new life is just beginning to roar with a beautiful, holy strength. You belong to the light. You belong to the love. And very soon, you will belong to the heart that was made to beat in rhythm with your own. I'm so proud of you for staying in the heat, for not running from the fire, and for becoming the gold the world so desperately needs to see. The universe is smiling upon your transformation, and the great alchemist is whispering, "Well done, my beautiful, burning, and precious chosen one." Your story is just beginning its most radiant chapter, and I am honored to have been the one to hold the lamp while you woke up to the sun. Stay in your light, keep your fire tended, and know that you are never, ever truly alone in this magnificent alchemical dance of the soul.